I think you know the feeling when you just agree with the term of service or with the cookie um, conditions without just reading it, which clearly shows that it's a broken system because we just don't have time to read all of this. And while it's hard to fix, but there is another very similar stuff when you do SSH. Should I type yes or no? Yeah, this fingerprint, I really don't know. So I think most of the people just confirms it. And at least we can fix this part. So there is multiple way just managing all of the non-host, but I think the easiest way is just signing the SSH host keys. So let's do this. So first of all, we need a CA authority or a key which will be used to sign all of the other service. So let's generate one. We can generate just a default to the CA file, but I would prefer to use this algorithm just to make it uh, faster. And by the way, this one doesn't really work. I couldn't memorize this one. I can memorize the random desktop wallpapers, but it's very hard for me. So I have the key. The next thing is that we need the host keys. So the host keys is on the host, obviously, and unfortunately, I need to accept it to copy the host keys. So this should be somewhere here, and I need all of the public keys from here. For signing these, I need the private key, and I would prefer to keep the private key in my local computer. So let's copy all of these from the remote host to here. And we have. So it's ready to sign. So we would like to sign it with the private key, which is this one. And I need to set some kind of identity. I think it's used to revoke the key. So, but I would just use the host name for now. It's the expired date. So let's start with 5 minutes ago and 10 years, and I can just sign all of the public keys. And they I sign, so I can copy back the certificates to the machine. So what we need is all of the certificates, what I just copied in this directory. Well, it can be any directory, but I would prefer to use it because I need to configure the SSHD config and say that let's use host certificate, and I need the name of all of the files. So let's copy paste those and put it into end with this. I think usually we don't need all of this because most of the time I'm using this ECDSA certificate just because I have quite modern SSH on the client side. So we can also disable and use only the required part. So this seems to be fine, right? I assume this is the good file, yes. So we can just reload the SSH setting. It's always exciting to know that's how this is an remote host. I'm just reloading the config. So next thing, that's still if I do this one. Oh, I accepted when I copied, so I accepted the fingerprint when I copied, so it's supposed to be here, right? So I'm just deleting this one, and let's do a new SSH. Okay, so still it's not working because we should say that, okay, I just trust in all of the keys which are signed with this specific key. So let's say cert authority. Here I can define any host name or I can just restrict this trust. But I'm fine with this one. And here I need the public key. So finally I have the public key. It's short enough to make it easy to copy paste. So okay, so now we trust in any host keys which are signed. So let's try again and do this one. Oh, and I don't need to confirm the fingerprint anymore. Fine. So that's very useful. That's just one more little trick that we don't really need to copy these stuff. So it's enough to, obviously I wouldn't like to copy the private key, right? But I can copy the public key to the remote host. Especially if I have the public, SCP public key to the remote host. And I can use the SSH agent and use the private key from my local machine. So I don't need to copy the private key, but I can say that, okay, let's add first the private key to my SSH agent, which is running here. After that, I can use this -a, which means that the local SSH agent, which contains the private key, will be enabled on the remote host. So I'm going to here. And now I can do the signing process from here. The only difference what I should use is that when I say that I need a key, I can set the public key and -u. I will say that, okay, I would like to use this private key or the corresponding private key from the SSH agent. It really doesn't require, it just makes my task easy. So I just copy paste the -v to here. What did we have? I think the -e is required. And I can just sign everything. Oh. With sudo it doesn't work, right? Because the SSH agent is not enabled, but the SSH agent is just an environment variable. And this one, this is where I can access all of the stuff from my agent. So I can just say that please sudo use the existing environment variable. And now it works. Everything is signed. I can just configure the SSH config, and on the other side, I can configure the non-host. Obviously, it's not fully solved because I had to accept at least once the fingerprint, but at least I can make it easier for my colleagues, because if I double check the fingerprint and configure and sign everything, after that all of the others can use it without just trusting random fingerprints. So there is one link what I can recommend, because I think this is the shortest overview, not just about the signing the host keys, but using certificates for authenticating users as well. Well, that's another interesting approach, but not for today. So see you next time.